morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how to style, and now natural hair care. So if you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today's video, we are going to talk about Fashionphile. Apparently some of their policies have changed, so let's get into it. Okay, so first, what is Fashionphile? It is a resale luxury company, just like the Rira, just like Vestiaire Collective, what goes around comes around, and eBay. They sell Chanel, they sell Hermes, they sell Louis Vuitton. All of the brands that you can think of, they have. They also sell Fendi, they sell YSL. Apparently some of their policies have changed, so we will go over their new return policy, restocking fees, and shipping. Okay, so the first one is their return policy. If you don't know, it used to be, which is a pretty standard policy, it used to be 30 days once you received the item. Now it is 15 days to the date of shipping, meaning you will have 15 days. If you do not like your purchase, you will have 15 days to return it from the date that it ships. Not from the date that you receive it, but from the date that ships. I do know of one other company who does do this. It is Aritzia. You guys have heard me talk about them before. They have very beautiful foundational pieces. They have quality. They're moderately priced. You are going to pay a pretty penny for some of their things. I remember when I was shopping there in Texas, they did have a brick and mortar store. For me, I'm not going to travel to Texas to get there or to buy their pieces, right? But their return policy is actually 7 days, and this may have changed. I have not checked their return policy, but their return policy was 7 days to the date of ship. Fashionphile is 15 days to the date of ship. The problem with this new policy, I don't know about you guys, but ever since we have come out of COVID, whether I buy something from Macy's, Banana Republic, J. Crew, whether something is being shipped from USPS, Amazon, FedEx, not everything, but a lot of things have been delayed. I ordered some sconces last year in July. I got them the day before Thanksgiving. So the issue with the date of ship is a lot of things, and I don't know where you are. I live in the Carolinas. I live in a very metropolitan area. Charlotte has arrived. But the issue with that is from the date of ship, that's not a very long time, okay? That is a very small window to figure out, and really not even to figure out if you like it. That is a very small window for you to actually receive the item, okay? The next one is the actual shipping. I don't know about you, but on Fashionphile, I don't know if you are aware, on Fashionphile, returns used to be free. So now they do have 3 methods of return. The first one is now going to cost you, if you want to go through the return process with them, or if you want to buy a label from them, it is now going to cost you $14.99. I think that's where a lot of people are having the issue. I'm just going to chalk it up to, the actual company passing the expense off to the buyer, and what everybody else is giving the excuse of is the recession and the cost of things is going up, inflation, right? So the very first one is if you want to go through their return process, it will cost you $14.99. The second one is that you can purchase your own return label. However, there is some criteria with that, and let's go ahead and get into that. The criteria is you do have to have proof of insurance, or you have to buy enough insurance to cover the bag. You also have to have a signature, and then you also have the proof of drop off, okay? So those are a couple of steps. And then the third one is that you can actually do a return at one of their locations. However, when I started looking up their locations, you will see that a lot of the locations, they take walk-ins, they take appointments, and they take, like, if you're going to be buying something or if you're going to be selling something to them. But a lot of them do not take returns, which I find very interesting. And to show you what I mean, let's look at a couple of locations. Of course, I'll put it up here. So we have one in Scottsdale, Arizona. If we click on it, it says by appointment only, but that doesn't really give us what you're allowed to do within that appointment, okay? Let's take Chicago. People love shopping in Chicago. This one says service desks are for dropping off pre-quoted items only. Returns are not allowed at this location. So you have the location in Chicago for Fashionphile that does not allow you to return at this location. Now keep in mind, when you do, of course, return your bag in store, it is free because you don't have to ship, right? Let's take another popular location. Let's see, I know Texas, okay. Let's do Houston. This one also says service desks are for dropping off pre-quoted items only, which if you don't know, that means something that you're going to sell. It says returns are not allowed at this location. Let's do another. So we hit Arizona, Pennsylvania, Texas. Let's do King of Prussia in Pennsylvania. That's like, I think it teeter-totters with Minnesota about being the biggest mall in the United States. King of Prussia is by appointment only, but again, it does not specify what you are allowed to do in that appointment. Now let's hit two big ones. Let's see, New York and Florida. I know they have one in Florida. Okay, let's do Bal Harbour in Florida. This one says, service desks are for dropping off pre-coded items only. Returns are not allowed at this location. Let's do New York. Let's see. We have Flagship. Let's do Flagship. Flagships typically allow you to, with most companies, allow you to do the most. It says walk-ins welcome, appointment highly recommended. Again, it does not say what you're able to do. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are highly recommended. Let's do one more. Let's do California. Let's do Beverly Hills. By appointment only. So again, it's not very clear what you can do with these appointments. And even though they do have several stores all over the United States, I think that since you started as being an e-commerce brand and that's typically what you're focusing on, I think your instructions need to be very clear. If I were to purchase a bag from Fashionphile, the closest one to me, Arizona, California, would be Georgia, Atlanta. I am not driving to Atlanta just to return a bag, okay? So I would already have to purchase my own, or I would have to pay the $14.99, which if I did not state before, would come out of what they would pay back to you. Hold it, I lied. North Carolina, it says Charlotte. Clearly I can't read. Oh my goodness. 4400 Sharon Road, that makes sense. That's by South Park. 4400 Sharon Road, that is the address for South Park. So it must be in the Neiman Marcus. I will have to check that out. But that is good to know. However, when I read it, it says service desk are for dropping off pre-coded items only. Returns are not allowed at this location. That's good to know. I did not know that. Charlotte has arrived. If you are going to give that service or if you're going to offer that service, then I think a lot more of your locations need to offer the return. And lastly, let us discuss restocking fees. And I'm pretty sure everybody is aware of restocking fees. So their new policy is that, let's say within a 6-month time period, if you purchase 10 or more items and you returned 70% of them, there will be an automatic 10% restocking fee. How are they going to come up with the 10% restocking fee? It is going to be 10% of the sale price, or the sale that you, or the bag that you are, the value that you paid for of the bag that you are returning. I don't know if you've ever been on Fashionphile. I don't know if you have ever shopped luxury, but 10% of some of the bags that are on Fashionphile can actually be a very, 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 very hefty price for a bag that you are not going to be keeping, okay? We already talked about the return policy, and if you don't know, if you don't like a bag, you can return it to them and then they will take like a percentage. I think it's like 25 to 30%, and you will get the rest of your money back, okay? The issue that people are going to have with this 10 or more items within a time span of 60 or a time span of 6 months is this. A lot of people have started complaining when it comes to Fashionphile that they are not correctly identifying what the condition of their bag is. So I will give you an example. They use poor, they use excellent, they use like new, and then they say, you know, they will give a description, has a scratch here, has a smell here, you know, might have a stain here, might have a stitch missing here. What a lot of people are noticing is that the condition of the bag that is being listed is not necessarily the same condition of the bag that they are receiving, even with photos. So what a lot of people are saying about this restocking fee is, let's say, for instance, I do get a bag, I'm on your website, and the condition says like new. I get the bag and there are a couple of stains, it might be a little smelly, or there might be a couple of tassels missing, or there might be some threads that are coming out. That is not a like new condition. And what people are, I guess, they're questioning is, okay, is that specific bag going to count towards my 10 or my 10 plus bags within that 6-month period? You have people who love being on trend and they are continuously revolving. They are always buying a new bag. They're always selling it back. I think for what most people, what the concern is going to be is that going to count against me? Because they do have a policy that if you do get the bag and it's not this as the same condition is listed, that they will also return your money. But with this new policy, a lot of people are wondering how that's going to work against them. Like, is that going to be reflected in the points system? Okay, so my thoughts. I personally right now do not have any bags from Fashionphile. I did order one and I will share it with you guys. I finally found the colorway that I like, so I don't anticipating having to ever send it back. I love the way that it looks and I love the shape of it. Very excited to show that to you guys. But my thoughts on the new policy. I think it's more so becoming like kind of like a revolving or like a reward style type situation for someone who is very trendy or doesn't want to keep very many bags in rotation, but they want to stay on trend. I think that is going to work. But for someone who is more so of a collector of maybe like a certain bag, a vintage bag, or for like very rare bags, you know, $14.99 is not a lot. But that's just another associated fee when 6 months ago, you know, it was free to do so. And like I said in the beginning of this video or early on in this video, it just seems like one of those things with the recession, you know, with people not bringing home as much money and, you know, just with inflation, it seems like this is just something else that a company is trying to pass on to its consumer when in the beginning it was free. Also, as far as the restocking fee is concerned, I think for the question that would be for myself, which I don't shop luxury, I'm not buying 10 luxury bags within a 6-month period. That just seems excessive to me. But for someone who does do that, I think their concern would be the restocking fee. You have bags on Fashionphile that are $50,000 and $60,000. 10% of that for a bag that you are not going to keep or for a bag that you are displeased with, that is a very hefty price tag. I don't think the policy is ridiculous. The only thing that I would probably say, especially right now in this day and age with delays in shipping, the things that we are still, you know, coming out from under when it comes to COVID, I would probably have to say the 15 days from the date of shipping. There are very few companies that I know of that do that, and that's probably like one of the main pain points when it comes to their clients. I think they might want to consider rethinking that. Maybe they're going to see how it works and maybe they might change it back, but I would probably say that's the most point of contention, would be the 15 days to date for ship and still allowing you to return it, okay? Let me know in the comments what you think of the new policy. Also, let me know if you do shop on Fashionphile. Let me know what your experience is. I just want to remind you here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And of course, you know, right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. Bye.